quartet in towards Hall Bends. 'Twas ever still Liam McGill, who was mighty impressive at Silverstone, leads the way and has got to 3, 4, maybe 5 focus lengths between himself and the chasing pack. Poor old Jonathan Baker, I'm afraid to say, still sits stationary in the pit lane. The number 10 car has not as yet even been able to get going in the race. Out of Barn Corner they come for the first time. Liam McGill will lead lap number 1 from the reigning champion Simon Rudd, who sits there in second position. Scott Parkin in third. Mark Geraghty in the yellow car there in 4th place. Simon Bonthrown in 5th place. Callum Potter in 6th, but now coming under attack from Callum Easton. The two Callums getting themselves together as they charge their way through Coppice onto lap number 2.
Yeah, so waiting for them to appear now. There is Liam McGill already starting to pull away. The top 4 are almost equidistantly spread, so it's still Liam McGill leading the way ahead of reigning champion Simon Rudd. Then it's Scott Parkin and Mark Geraghty. There goes Ian Bonthrown as well as Callum Potter, somewhat nose to tail. There was another car trying to work their way into the mix as well. Simon Waugh holding on to that little trio up the road, and then there's another trio that have gone by. I didn't quite look up in time. Then it's the 777 of Sean Reynolds with the number 81 of Greg Saunders, not too far adrift in that Power Max liveried car. And then we get back to Abby Walton in the Monster liveried Ford Focus, just trying to hold on to the tail end of the order. Liam McGill still pulling away, still with Simon Rudd trying to follow him. Scott Parkin not too far adrift, big kicks of dirt and very, very sideways all over the exit of the gooseneck. I'll try and pick out just who that was. I think that was Callum Easton that was really pushing the limits. Gravel kicked up, or all the dirt kicked up into the air, and that shows he's really pushing, defending hard now for 5th place.
Yeah, here he is in towards the bottom of the mountain. He's still got to Ian Bonthrown ahead of him, and then it's Callum Potter, followed by Callum Easton, so the order of that hasn't changed. I think you also had a spin at Charlie's Inn as well. There were weight yellow flags down at Coppice for a period of time, which suggests that something gone up at Charlie's, but out of your sight before you get the opportunity to view it, so somebody would drop down through the order. So we're about to get to lap number 2, ticked into the book, with Liam McGill leading the way, and if anything, increasing the amount of daylight between himself and Simon Rudd in 2nd place. The gap was 0.8 of a second this time. It goes out to 1.3 seconds. Simon Rudd not really pulling away by a great deal from Scott Parkin, is there in 3rd place, but Mark Geraghty now in 4th place, just getting dropped to a degree as they head back into your sight on lap number 3.
Yep, so looking now, it's still Liam McGill from Simon Rudd and Scott Parkin, no change there, and yeah, it looks like he's getting dropped is Mark Geraghty in the Prize Drive yellow number 67 car. Bonthrown under pressure from Potter already, and then we get back to the number 26 of Callum Easton, trying to recover from that earlier mistake, and it's getting very, very close between Bonthrown and I think it was Potter that was trying to have a go for what would be 6th place, and Reynolds coming under pressure from Saunders once again. I'll try and pick out where Greg Saunders is in the pack. That will be the battle for what is 12th place. The pair of those two dropping positions over the final lap. And then here comes Abby Walton just trying to keep hold of that pack once again. And now we're slowly starting to see a little bit more pressure being applied for 5th place. There's still that trio battling away of Bonthrown, Potter and Easton. But at the moment, it's looking like it's all remaining the same. And there goes the number 10 of Jonathan Baker, retaking to the circuit in a very, very smoky Ford Focus.
Yeah, very smoky. Maybe an issue with an injector or something like that on his car. Look at the amount of smoke that's coming out from the back of it. Yeah, Greg Saunders and Sean Reynolds, they must have been the cars that we saw those weight yellow flags for at Charlie's. And that was why they have dropped down through the order for number 777 there. Sean Reynolds in 2 places. Greg Saunders lost 4 places on that particular lap. So here comes Liam McGill pressing on out of Barn Corner. Lap number 3 about to be concluded. Last time through this was the fastest lap of the race with a 1:47.6. That was a 1:47.3, so another new fastest lap of the race. And remember, that's important as well because it's an extra 5 championship points for the fastest lap of the race. So the lead advantage grows to 2.1 seconds from McGill to Rudd. Scott Parkin, Mark Geraghty still 3rd and 4th, but up to 5th now has come number 63, the Australian from Melbourne. Callum Potter is up to 5th.
Yeah, Callum Potter really starting to push hard, although he's not letting him run away. He's Ian Bonthrown. He's just sat behind, really pushing the limits, slightly sideways on the exit. Then we get back to the 26 of Callum Easton. There goes by me also Simon Waugh, but Geraghty with an issue. So Mark Geraghty, after crossing the line in 4th place, over to the right hand of the circuit, going very, very slowly, and what will be tumbling down through the order is Mark Geraghty. So clearly with some sort of issue, and then we get back to Sean Reynolds slowly coming under pressure from, I think that's Richard Avis trying to follow suit, and then the number 9 of Simon Walton not too far adrift, but the leader's already heading back towards you, and it's not really that close between those top 3. Potentially Ryan Parkin is eating away at that gap, but only very minutely. There's not too much to pick between them. Somebody back into the pit lane again.
It is, yeah, I'm afraid to say it's Jonathan Baker that's come back into the pit lane. So top 3 already through the mountain. 4th place, of course, is now Callum Potter, who was most good himself ahead of Ian Bonfrone on that lap as well. So Callum Potter, who was 6th a couple of laps ago, is now into 4th place because of the problems that befell Mark Garrity last time through with that number 67 car. Such a shame that he was down his best finishing position was on to Park. He qualified 4th here and was keeping his fingers crossed for a good result. He came unravelled rather for him. So 7 3/4 minutes to go over the start finish line. Goes our race leader, Liam McGill. Improves his lead advantage by another half a second that time through over Simon Rudd. Even though Simon Rudd, the reigning champion, set his best individual lap of the race, still he sees Liam McGill disappearing up the road. So you've got the leading batch of cars with you. I've got some of the better squabbles just heading past me now, which include, I think, Claire and Richard Avis, who are getting themselves together for what is 8th and 9th positions for bragging rights amongst the Avis family this evening.
Yeah, really starting to close up in that mid-pack is well and truly where you need to be watching. At the moment, who have I got coming past me? Back past me goes Simon Waugh in the silver and red safety devices sponsored machine. Then we get back to Claire Avis, slowly coming under pressure from the number 25 machine. Of course, that being driven by Richard Avis. I think that has had a number change since this morning. But at the moment, it's slowly starting to calm down. It's all about the Avis family at the moment. It looks like they really are slowly starting to get closer. It's just little by little each lap. You're seeing that gap come down. The leader's heading back towards you, but the battle I really want to be watching is between the number 71 machine and the number 25 machine. Richard Avis being the trailing car in that, and that is indeed not just a number change, an entire car change. It's now in the Mintex red and blue machine. Back towards you, they will come in just a few moments' time, but the gap is somewhat staying about the same.
Let's have a quick look. Now, and gap is roughly the same. Out of pit lane goes the man behind the series, Simon Walton. Came into the pit lane with no damage to the front nose of the number 9 car. There was lots of grass in it as well. In fact, there's a huge chunk of grass and turf being picked up by one of the mechanics now. They've ripped a bit of bodywork away as well. So he's had a bit of an off and a bit of a moment somewhere, Simon Walton. So he's back in the race, but it's only just now remaining on the lead lap at this stage. The lead advantage grew by another 0.3 of a second last time through, so Liam McGill all of the time just lapping quicker than anybody else is managing to do, which is what we saw him do at Silverstone. So for the moment, he's on for potentially maximum points, isn't he? Qualified on pole, he's leading the race, he's got the fastest lap.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do. Keep it consistent, and if he continues to do this throughout the season, of course, it will stand him in good stead. Very wide on the exit of Charlie's was the number 63 car of Callum Porter, the sort of flame liveried number 63 Ford. Very wide indeed, bouncing over the grass, but he does get the moment collected up and continues on without too much of an issue. And now the Avis family do have, or they did have a car between them, number 26 Callum Eason. I can't decide whether he's trying to let them by or he's been caught up in that battle and sort of not ready for it, because they're still side by side. Yes, they are. That's Richard Avis trying to battle with Callum Eason in towards Park Corner, looking over the hill. It looks like Callum Eason has managed to keep it. No, they're still side by side. So all the way from the exit of Charlie's down the Park Straight, through Park Corner they go, now going through Chris Curve, still side by side. They've got to sort themselves out before the gooseneck, and they do now. So Callum Eason does remain in front of Richard Avis, but that's got to have been a mistake, because I never remember him being that close to the Avis.
Yeah, he lost it on the previous lap. I think it was in the Woodland section, just as I handed over to you. He lost the place already to Avis, and no doubt it was a moment for him somewhere that's dropped him now into the clutches of Richard Avis. And you can see those two cars now heading towards the mountain. Just up the road from them, Claire Avis. She hasn't she's not too far up the road, so any little small mistake from her, and they're back on her and ready to pounce. 4 minutes to go, so the lap they're on, and just a couple more thereafter. Liam McGill leading the way, and that time through another 3/4 of a second over the cars behind. One of the other good battles we've got at the moment is for 4th and 5th place. Under enormous pressure from the 76 car of Ian Bonfrone. Those two nose to tail head through Coppice and are about to appear over the top of Charlie's.
Yep, so I'll just wait for them to come back into view. There they are now, so already under pressure on the exit of Charlie's, but a slightly poor exit from Bond's Throne, but it looks like for the moment Callum Potter is just that far in, just that little bit too far in front for Ian Bonthorne to try and make any inroads on that position, but they are definitely getting closer, and now we can see, whilst he was in between both the Avises, he still is, but he's closer to one than the other. Claire Avis now under pressure from Callum Eason, so he's managed to drop Richard Avis and he's now pushing forward to the Swan Flight livery number 71 Focus in towards Park Corner. Much later on the brakes was Callum Eason, really starting to apply that pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a change of position in just a few moments' time through Park Corner and around Chris Curve. They will go nose to tail, almost pushing Claire Avis through is Callum Eason. Towards the gooseneck they will go. The battle for 5th and 6th place, I believe, is through the bottom of the mountain now. But now the Avises have closed up and Callum Eason has dropped back into the clutches of Richard Avis. Bear in mind, this is the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th place. It's incredibly close. It's like they're racing for the lead.
Great little squabble it is. Yeah, that battle for 4th and 5th is headed in towards the Woodlands. On his own is Simon Waugh in the number 22 car in 6th place, but then Claire Avis under pressure from Callum Eason, who almost made a hash at the bottom of the mountain there and just got the car gathered up before Richard Avis was able to try and unlock the door and squeeze his way through. So a trio now fighting over 7th, 8th and 9th position, as onto the penultimate lap of the race goes Liam McGill. And he is certainly looking good for the victory now, but what's going on with that other battle that's just headed round through the woodlands? So the top 5 over the start-finish line. Here comes on his own Simon Waugh in 6th position, and it is still Claire Avis from Callum Eason, from Richard Avis. I don't think that is going to change by the time they get to you, but you've got the race leaders for the penultimate time.
I do indeed, and I've just had a quick look over at the timing screen, and it's not like McGill is sort of set that fastest lap at 147.343 and has just sort of left that alone. He's still lapping within around about a tenth of it and a half a second quicker than the next quickest driver out on circuit. So Liam McGill really starting to push forward. I think we've had a little bit of a change in the Avis battle, but now we look back. I don't really know where to look at the moment because it's going off at different sections of the circuit. Claire Avis now under pressure once again from Callum Eason. Richard Avis just watching along, got the best seats in the house, and it looks like, just as I looked over expecting to see a change for these guys, it looks like that Callum Potter has managed to just about pull away without too much of an issue to Ian Bonthorne, just sat behind. The Avis battle is still as is, still Claire Avis leading Callum Eason and Richard Avis, but they're all once again nose to tail, and the trio really starting to fluctuate. It's all ebbing and flowing, and it seems like Callum Eason's the one stuck in the middle.
So Jack Werrell will make his way around towards the podium to conduct the podium presentation. So once the cars head round through the corners on this final, that will be fairly blind until they reappear in the back of the mountain, back into the bottom of the mountain. So Liam McGill, fastest lap of the race for him that time through into the 1 minute 46. It's 1 minute 46.828 is quicker than he managed in qualifying. He qualified in a 1 minute 46.836, so he's just gone, what, 8 1,000ths of a second quicker than he did in qualifying, did Liam McGill, very late into the race. The order still remains the same. McGill from Simon Rudd, from Scott Parkin, from then number 63 Callum Potter, who still can't really shake away Ian Bonthorne as they went over the start-finish line reasonably together still. And then we await for the arrival of the next little squabble.